mi amiga. Hello.
Welcome to the True Love Secrets Revealed. I am so happy to have my friend Emilia Nagy again sharing her wisdom with all of us. So, Emilia is a dating and relationship and marriage counselor. And what I really, really love about her, I mean, many things, but is that she coaches and mentorships women for dating for marriage. And I would really, really like to dive into that aspect of it, if you don't mind.
I'm so excited. Let's do it.
So
And
let's
I'm
go
so
right
happy to be
in.
here. Thank you so much for having me. So
Oh
great
my
to see
goodness.
you again.
I know, it's so exciting. It's always so good to see you. I follow you
So
on
fun.
TikTok and I love to see your videos on TikTok and everywhere. So yeah,
Yay.
she's awesome. Her content is so good. She's on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. So go follow her. But anyway, so Emilia,
Yes,
what
Natalia.
is the difference between dating for marriage than dating for any other reasons? What could be the other reasons for dating?
Right? We don't even think about it. Well, it's kind of like if we don't get specific, if we don't get clear, if we don't get intentional within ourselves, if we don't know in our own self, like, why am I dating? Then we end up doing it for not the right reasons because we don't have the right focus. We don't have the right reason why we're there. It's kind of like when you go to the grocery store and you don't know why you're going. Does
I
that
know
happen
you
to
end up picking
you?
up
Right?
buying all the
And then you
candy.
end up with like all kinds of things, and hopefully you're gonna use them, right? Hopefully you're gonna need them. It's a little bit like that. So you kind of want to think of it like, why are you there? What do you have to get, right? You because otherwise you're gonna end up, and it's okay for us because we women love that. We love like shopping anyway, right? But you're gonna end up with possibly not the things you came for, right? Like if you don't have a list, if you don't have a shopping list, if you don't have an intention, right? So it's kind of the same thing I see in dating often because women don't think about it. They just think, well, of course I'm dating for marriage. Why else would I be dating? Or of course I'm dating for a committed relationship. Like it's something sort of in the back of their mind. They're not really necessarily articulating that, yes, I'm going to the grocery store and I would like bananas and tomatoes, And it's kind of like I'm using that analogy because it's silly, but it's like, we don't we don't take the action of doing the thing that needs to get done if we don't know where we're going.
Right.
And the thing that needs to get done in dating so that dating ends up in a relationship is not the same
Right.
as a thing that gets done in dating that doesn't lead to a relationship. And women don't know this and they confuse the two. And they do the thing that doesn't lead to a relationship. So they go looking for tomatoes in the canned tuna aisle, right? They don't know that if you're dating for marriage, you're gonna go down this aisle, and if you're not dating for marriage, gonna go down this aisle. Women don't know. So let me give an example of this. I made this mistake so many times because I thought it was going to get me a relationship because our mainstream culture tells us that men want sex. And
Right.
they and so we think, okay, well, then, if a guy wants sex and if I give him sex, then he's gonna want to be in a relationship with me. And this is a common one, but it doesn't add that way. It doesn't add up that way for men. And it's okay. It's not because they're bad, it's not because they're wrong. It's because they have a different calculation for how they want to shop at the grocery store. It doesn't make them wrong. It's just a different, approach, right? And so, I've had sex with men because I thought that would mean that then I would be in a relationship with them. I remember one guy, it was in university and I had sex with him. And I remember the next day I saw him and I wanted to hold his hand because I thought we were together. I thought we were a couple. And he was
Right.
like, "What? What are you doing?"
Oh no, that
And
hurts.
I'm like,
Ouch.
didn't you? I thought. you were at my house last night? Like he was
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, but that's not, but this is what that's what you hold a girlfriend's hand. You don't hold. I was like, oh, and so that's kind of like that was in my early 20s. It started adding up for me. And he was a great guy. I mean, he obviously could have been more clear with me, right? But then men don't know this either, right? They're not dating experts. They approach it from their point of view and we approach it from ours, and then these mishaps happen, right?
Right.
And so if you are looking for marriage and a long-term relationship, don't have sex with the guy. Like, I know it's crazy, I know, but even men think this way. Like, I had a client who was like, and we had sex, and then I thought he was going to be really interested. And it's like, he actually said that he actually wasn't, but he told me that he wanted a long-term relationship. And I'm like, yeah, because you had sex with him and you gave him the impression that you were looking for,
Right.
something short term because men think differently, right? Even healthy masculine men who want a relationship, they're not looking for sex first. They're looking for, do I like her? Does she have the qualities that I enjoy, right? Like they're not looking for of course they want an attractive woman that they're attracted to. Yes, of course, that's a given. But I'm saying they don't put that first and they don't even actually approach a woman that they really like, that they don't know that well for sex. So that's an example of how things are so skewed and for so many reasons. So many reasons. First, the culture, because in the culture we hear, well, all men want is sex, right? They want sex, right? It's like, yes, they do. And when they're serious about a woman, actually, they don't put that first. Actually, they wait, they take their time, they get to know her, not because they are suspicious. Actually, even it's more so because they want to make sure she's happy.
Right.
And so they're not gonna, get involved in that way until they're sure she wants it, until she invites it, right? It's so different. It's so different. And so dating down the path of dating without intention, without clarity, without a destination, ends up you just end up where you end up. You end up where you end up. And unfortunately, where most of women, including myself and many of my clients, where we end up when we go down that path in that way is not where we want to go.
Right.
Because where we actually want to go is towards a relationship. And so what's really, really important is to understand how to select a man who also has that destination, because not every man has that destination and not every woman, although women have that destination sort of like what's the word, like it's just assumed.
Mm.
Like they just assume. We assume that we have it. We assume women have it. We assume men have it. We don't think we have to talk about it, but we do because it's not the destination. And this comes out, Natalia, I'm just talking. I can talk forever. I write all these things. I'm writing my book, right? But this comes out a lot when in like older women who've been married two, three, four times,
Uh-huh.
right? And when they get to that point, there are women who are like, yeah, no, I'm not dating for a relationship. And they're very clear. It's like, no, I just want a companion, or I just want sex, or I just want somebody to travel with. I want somebody to go on cruises with. I don't want to be married. I don't want to live together. I don't want to share my life. I'm not going to have kids. I don't want to share finances. I've done that. I've been there over, right? And so that's an example of like she's very clear,
Right.
right? She's not going over here. But what happens in the other direction is if we don't clarify, we by default end up in the area where it's hard. It's hard in that gray area to create a relationship if we haven't had that intention and that purpose. Okay,
Right.
I'll be quiet there. I said a lot.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. So to recap a little bit, what I get is that the most important thing is what you said pretty much to give context is not from a moral standpoint that you have to date to get married or that it's best for you. It's just being clear because the way
Yeah.
it's going to be if you want to date for a long-term relationship, maybe marriage, maybe starting a family,
Mm-hmm.
going to be on the dating apps, on the way you look at the dating apps, is going
Mm-hmm.
to be completely different. That what if you want to meet somebody to go on a vacation and spend some time together, or have somebody to go once a week to the movies, and like a more
Right.
relaxed relationship. That is so true what you said. Nowadays, we are at the time right now as women that we can have it
Mm-hmm.
all. We can
Yeah.
get married. We don't have to get
You
married.
don't have to.
You don't have to
Yeah.
have kids. You can be with a man one night. You can be with, you can actually nowadays, there is no even any gender can go with any gender. It's just
That
everything
too.
is possible right
Yeah.
now. Our grandmothers didn't even fathom the idea of what was going to.
Yeah.
It has changed in such a short period of time.
Yes,
It's
a
like,
lot. And I always tell women, the way that we do dating, this is not normal. Like if you're
right,
struggling, that's why, because don't think this is normal.
right,
How long have humans gone on a gadget to find each other, right? Like even our grandmother's time, even my parents' time, right? Like they would
right,
get together, in my grandmother's time, the villages would all gather every month. They had gatherings. Why? For the purpose of the families seeing each other, relatives connecting, and yes, then the girls would have suitors and there would be plenty in-person suitors, but we don't have that anymore when we need to create that environment somehow so that we don't lose our minds. Right? But how do you create that? That's actually one of the things. I think you're going to put the link below. I teach women in my Right Guy checklist, right? How do you create that environment of having plenty of suitors, of knowing how to select a healthy masculine man so that you can go down the right path and not down the wrong path by default?
right, right. So that is going to be Emilia's gift to you, and it's going to be a guide to, how can you repeat the name of your
I
guide?
call it how to pick the right guy checklist
Love it. How
because
to.
it's like do this, do this, do this, do this, and then you're gonna have the right guy.
That's awesome. Okay, so get it.
Yeah.
It's in the description box of this interview, of this video, and it's also on your email. And if you have issues with it, email me and I'll make it available for you. So that is wonderful. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
It's women struggle so much with that. I did when I was dating back in the
Oh,
day.
we do. We
How
struggle.
do
I
I
mean,
know?
it's just not normal. It's not natural. We don't have any precedent for
Right,
what it is that we need to rise up into when we want a suitor nowadays. Because really, one of the most effective, efficient, and easiest ways is online dating apps. But women hate them because when we go with our instinct, when we go without that clarity again, right? When we go without the strategy we're gonna put below, when we go without that understanding of what a healthy man who's a masculine person who wants a relationship, right? Women go and it's like, oh, well, we don't have the same interest. It doesn't matter if you do or don't. If he's not a healthy masculine man who wants a relationship, it doesn't matter, right? So there's certain ways to do it that is very effective. I just had a client today. She just got started with me and she just wrote me, I can't believe this. A guy called me an hour ago. I'm like,
right,
yes, he's gonna call you because you gave him the phone number, you did the process.
right.
She started and she's like, is he gonna call? They don't call, they don't call. But then I looked at the text messages and she's like doing what I call text entertaining, right? Like having a whole relationship over the text. Well, of course they're not gonna call. The ones that are looking for a relationship are gonna go away because you're just entertaining them over text. And then the ones that don't want one are gonna waste your time.
Wow, that's so good. Text entertaining. That is so.
I made that up.
Yeah,
I wrote about that yesterday, I think.
I got your email. I read it there, and I loved it.
Yeah.
This woman is a genius
Yeah.
because I have been calling it becoming a pen pal. A text.
That too,
Yeah,
exactly.
I like
Yeah.
the way you're saying it. And so let's talk a little bit about that. For we have a few minutes left, so we don't have
Uh-huh.
a lot of time. But so about this text entertaining. So what you mean is So a good guy, a guy that is available, healthy masculine energy, that wants a relationship, that is looking for the one, all that. If we keep texting back and forth, and that means I heard you saying that he's going to walk away because he's going to
He
be
might if he doesn't feel any sort of like invitation to,
okay.
oh, great, great connecting with you. I look forward to speaking with you. Here's my phone number. Or like I would like to, like I always coach my clients, thank you for your text. I look forward to speaking with you when you have time,
Okay.
right? So that they call, so that they call, so that they call, because otherwise, we're going to be on text. And the thing is, if we don't give them that kind of opening, yeah, they might say, when can I call? But then if we always just go back to the text entertaining, which some women do because that's all they feel safe doing, by the way, that's a whole other can of worms. Then yeah, they do. They'll be like, oh, this isn't going anywhere. This isn't turning into a relationship, right? So there's things we can do. We can offer times that he can call us, that we look forward to speaking with him. Usually, if we have that phone call with warmth and openness, they will ask for a date, like just happened with my client. So there's just things that we can do that when we put them together that are in that checklist,
Right.
create a very positive, nurturing, fun, fruitful, result oriented experience in dating, meaning women meet great men, they have great experiences, they get to refine by meeting different men that are healthy, that are masculine, that are looking. They get to start refining. Oh, I liked that he was intelligent, but he was a little bit like over the top analytical, and I couldn't follow. And maybe that's going to be too much for me in a partner kind of thing, right? Like getting to refine a little bit the details of who we think we're going to be able to be our best with. Because that's what we want. We want a man that we like, that we respect, that we feel good around, that we admire, right? Because that will bring out the best in us as a feminine. So that's how we should date. That's how we should date.
Uh, Anything else you would like to say before we go
I know
apart? We
you
have
don't even
2
have to ask me any questions. I'll just like go on and on and on. Well, I
minutes.
just want to say that, if you're a single woman and you're like most women, you're gonna have run into the problem of where to meet men, where to meet quality men, where to meet good men, where to meet men who want a relationship. And what I want to give you is this gift that I found out because I dated online over 10 years. All my clients, almost all my clients find their guys, their husbands, their partners online. Not everybody, but I'd say like 80%. Um, it's like use those dating apps for introductions. Use them to get introductions. And yes, there's slimy people on there. Yes, there's there's unhealthy men. Yes, there is. I'm not denying it, but there's also about 50% of genuine, sincere, good people, good men that are looking for their person.
Beautiful.
Just
Beautiful.
learn how to select and do the online dating so that you can connect with them. Because the other ones, we want to filter them away. And then
Right.
there are those good ones. That's the secret of the how to use the online dating apps. And that's what I teach in the Right Guy checklist. So that's the last thing I want to say.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Emilia. Thank you for joining us today.
To
And
have you and see you again.
no, I know. I wish we could talk
Yeah,
more, but I will
we
see
will.
you next time.
We'll have a Hermanitas in Spanish day time.
I know, I know. I want to do that. I am starting a podcast in Spanish. So
Good.
are you okay with coaching in Spanish? Can you do it?
I think I can. It would be great. It would be
That's
great for me to
right. Yes.
practice.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I will text you and invite you so you can be there. You
Yeah.
can,
And then if I don't know something, you can just help me. I'll be like, no,
yes.
no sé cómo decirlo, por favor.
I'm sure you're gonna be fine. I just wanted to make sure you were okay with that. Okay, sweetie pie.
Yes.
Much
Okay, love
love.
you.
I will
So
send
good to
you
see
an
you.
email.
Mwah.